everyone, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. It is Sunday, and I'm honored, and I am privileged, and I am very blessed that you guys decided to spend some of your Sunday with me. So let's worship at the altar of the Holy Ration while we check out this 24-hour Singapore combat ration. I just happen to have the main ration, which are 3 retorts in this plastic bag, and then an accessory pack, and then another accessory pack. So somehow or the other, I got my hands on what looks like the normal accessory pack. Now this one expired in November of 2023, zero shits given. And then we have this other accessory pack, which expires March of 2024. So what I'm thinking is that maybe this is the updated pack. This one is the older pack, but you know what? I'm just going to pretend like I'm one of those lucky guys in the Singaporean military, and I wound up with 2 accessory kits because I can't really honestly find any recent info on a Singapore military ration that says whether or not I should have this accessory pack, or if this accessory pack is just kind of, well, not so great. So it looks like from all the information I've been able to find online is actually a mixture of the items in this accessory pack and the items in this accessory pack. We're just going to roll with the whole damn thing because you know what? I don't have anything else to do with this stuff except for eat it. So we're going to be a lucky Singaporean soldier today with 2 accessory kits and 1 main entree set. And as usual with about 75% or more of my rations, this ration I purchased from my good friend on eBay. His name is right up here at the top of the screen. And if you happen to be in the mood for a Singapore ration, I just happen to know that he just got a bunch of them. So if you want a Singapore ration, which I think he only has the mains, I don't think he has the accessories, but you know, rations are always good, even if you only have part of it. So you should check him out on eBay. He's a bitchin' dude. He has lots of cool stuff. It's in here in the United States, which means you don't have to deal with customs stealing your shit, which is really, really retarded when they steal your shit. It's bad. So if you were like trying to import a bomb into the country or something, well, then I would completely understand it. But this is just food. So seriously, cut me some fucking slack, customs. But anyway, you guys know how it goes. If you enjoy what I do here on this goofy ass channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, talk to me in the chat. Digga-digga-digga-ding, digga-digga-ding. It's always good to hear from you guys. I have a ton of fun talking to you guys in the chat. It is a great time. And if you're here for the premiere, you rock out with the cock out. So let's bust into this 24-hour ration from Singapore and see what's on the menu. All right, let's start with the mains, because I guess that's where you start. And this bag really isn't much to look at. I'll probably save it because I'm super nerdy like that, but it's really just not much to look at. So we have our 3 mains in here. So our first main is spinach pasta in cream sauce with chicken. In a retort pouch, that sounds absolutely goddamn disgusting, but we're going to give it a day in court, so we got this hot mess right here. What else do we have here? And this is barley nata cocoa dessert. I have absolutely no clue what that is. Feels like it's really soupy, so maybe it's like a dessert soup or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Here's some destruction sheets. We'll have to check that out. Maybe we can bust a calorie count off of this thing. This ration, in the components that are sent in a 24-hour, is supposed to have anywhere between 2,400 to 3,500 calories. So we'll have to try to check it out, see if we can give you an actual calorie count on what we're having today. Although that'll be kind of hard because I have 2 accessory kits because I'm a lucky soldier today. And last we have Aloo Jira chicken rice. No clue what that is. We're going to find out together we are. So we have our 3, well, really 2 mains and a dessert is what it sounds like. We might just go ahead and have that for breakfast. I know that sounds horrible, but you know how we do here. So let's check out this smaller accessory pack, which is the one that, well, should pair with this. This is accessory pack number 1, menu B. So we have some more destructions in here. We have a pack of chocolate biscuits. I hope they didn't go stale. They look pretty awesome. And we have another pack of chocolate biscuits. I'm digging it. I like biscuits. You like biscuits. We like biscuits. And we have 2 50-gram apricot and honey bars. That's awesome. These should be like really big Fig Newtons. That ought to be pretty bitchin'. Get some giant Fig Newtons going on. Now we're going to count our lucky Singaporean stars that we have another accessory kit. Expiry date be damned. More destructions. That's a lot of destructions, y'all. So we come right out of the gate with some butt wipe, with some cute little penguins on it. And you know what you do with this stuff. You can wipe your nose, you can wipe your face, you can pick a booger, and you can wipe your butt. You know what? Wiping your butt. This is a little bit light on the butt wipe. I would imagine that like creamy spinach pasta is going to make, well, you get what I'm saying. You're going to need more dookie paper, but at least you do have some, and it is in a pretty flimsy wrapper, but it will keep it from getting wet or soiled by broken food items, which is nice. So we have some butt wipe, and we have some Gold Roast instant nutritious cereal with vanilla flavor. That's kind of interesting. I mean, it looks like it's made out of corn, or wheat and corn, so we have some wheat and corn breakfast cereal. I guess maybe we're not, no, I don't know. We're probably still having dessert for breakfast. Haven't had my coffee yet, so we'll decide once we get that first sip of coffee in our face. Haven't had my coffee yet, so thinking clearly is a little bit on the sketchy side right now, so I have to apologize for that. But we have some breakfast cereal. We have 2 packs of Picari Sweat. This is going to be an isotonic beverage. One of them is nice and powdered, and the other one has caked up pretty bad. No clue what I'm in for with this, just that it's an isotonic drink, so we'll definitely give at least one of them a try. Maybe this one we'll probably try too, because I'm dumb. So we have 2 isotonic drinks. No clue what that's going to taste like. I really hope it doesn't taste like sweat, because that would be goddamn disgusting. We have a soy granola bar, oats and honey. And this is an excellent source of dietary fiber, which, you know, you need the dookie paper if you're going to have high fiber items in your ration. So we have a oats and honey granola bar. And we have 2 packs of Oreo cookies, believe it or not, that feel like they're just completely smashed up and bashed up. But it looks like we have 6 total Oreo cookies. That's kind of interesting. Given that these maybe are foreign manufacture, I wonder if they taste different than the Oreo cookies we have here in the United States, but we will definitely find out. Smashed up and all, we'll just kind of chug them back. And we have a pack of cream coffee candies. Now this is no substitute for a cup of coffee, but I have to say it, this is a pretty bitchin' ration item. And then we have a bag of Gold Roast instant honey chrysanthemum tea, not coffee. Are you kidding me? You went through all this trouble to put all this shit in a bag. You gave me coffee candies, but you didn't give me any damn coffee? The fuck? Maybe that, no. They have to like coffee in Singapore or they wouldn't give you coffee candies. So nobody can say, well, they don't drink coffee. Well, bullshit, because then you wouldn't have coffee candy. God damn it. Gold Roast tea. Then we have a guava juice box. I'm going to be 100% honest. I was unaware that guava came in a white colored fruit. So this is 250 mils of guava in a little juice box. That's pretty awesome. I'll have to check that out. Well, everyone, this is everything contained in a 24-hour Singapore combat ration and then some, and I still didn't get any coffee. So this is a pretty sad ration nerd. I guess I'm going to nom on a coffee candy while I go pick a main that I'm going to have for breakfast and boil that sucker until it's nice and piping hot. And then I'll get some breakfast out onto a tray, and then I'll be back with no coffee, which completely pisses me off. I'm unhappy about it. Singapore. All right, everybody, so we are back. I'm still not happy because I've not had coffee yet. So looking at the contents of this ration, I decided I'm just going to break this down into 2 big meals. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to have that Gold Roast honey chrysanthemum tea, not coffee tea. We're going to have this Gold Roast instant nutritious cereal mix. We're going to bust out one of these apricot honey fig bars, a pack of chocolate biscuits, some Oreo cookies, because why the hell not? And we're going to bust into some of this Picari Sweat and see what that's all about. First thing we got to do is not make coffee. We're going to make some tea. So we're going to get on that. We're going to make some tea. God damn it. And we better get a glass out for that Picari Sweat. And this Picari Sweat says it needs 208 milliliters of water. I don't think we're going to get 208. We're going to get somewhere in that ballpark, 200-ish. That just looks like salt and sugar in a bag. We'll see. Now that Gold Roast tea. And now that No Tear Notch tea. That's a pretty interesting looking tea there. It's like little baby granules. That's very interesting. Little honey tea granules. And that Gold Roast instant nutritious cereal mix. That smells interesting. Smells like grains, so not too shabby. This says to add 200 mils of water. Oh, that's going to need some more water. And let's hydrate with some sweat. That just doesn't sound right in any way, shape, or form. Looks like about right. And this ration did not come with any utensils, so let's take a look in the cup of goodness here. Let's get something at least from the Asian side of the planet, and let's give everything a little mix. And the main is staying in the pot where it's nice and hot, so we can have a nice hot main. You'll see which main I picked here in just a second, but in the meantime, let's get these chocolate biscuits out. And these chocolate biscuits definitely maintain their shape, which is nice. You get 5 of these suckers, and these actually smell pretty amazing. I hope the taste matches the smell, because those things smell great. Let's check out this apricot and honey bar. It looks like a big Fig Newton with a very green, heavy coating. That's awesome looking. Check that guy out. That's just a good looking, big ass Fig Newton is what that is. And let's see what shape these Oreos are in. I have a feeling we're just about to empty some Oreo dust out onto the tray. We'll check it out. You know what? Not nearly as broken up as I thought they were. Actually, just almost whole. That's not too bad. I have literally tried to say this like 7 times. I had to edit out the other 6 because I haven't had any coffee, and this is really tough in the morning with no coffee. So I decided, since I was torturing myself with no coffee for an extended period of time, I might as well go for some spinach pasta and cream sauce with chicken for breakfast. That's totally not a Ration Nerd thing, but we're rolling with it. So this is nice and hot. It has been boiled for quite some time, probably about 10 to 12 minutes. We're gonna get this out onto the tray. Spinach kind of scares me in a retort pouch. Ooh, that is not what you want to see in the morning. I mean, that in the retort pouch, that's looking a little tough. I don't know if you guys can see that great, but let's just get this out onto the tray, see what we're working with. Oh, here we go. Oh, pasta. Chicken. Spinach. Well, you know, I mean, I'm kind of busting on it, but in all honesty, that doesn't look too bad. So let's check this out. So we have what looks like macaroni noodles. And is that like a chicken flake? What the hell is that? It looks almost like lunch meat chicken. That's really strange and odd. So we have, obviously, spinach. We have a bunch of noodles. We do have some oddly shaped, like almost chipped pieces of chicken, like almost like luncheon meat. That's kind of crazy. If that is chicken, I'm imagining it is. Check that out. You tell me. Does that look like chicken? Doesn't look like chicken to me, but we'll see. So that looks like some flaky chicken. So that's pretty much it. It looks like there might be some garlic floating around in here, which could always be a positive thing. But this actually, you know, as much as I was kind of picking on it, this doesn't look that bad. It's just macaroni noodles, spinach, and chicken in a, well, kind of creamy sauce. It's not super creamy, but we're just going to tuck in and get a big old bite of this creamy chicken spinach noodle thing and see what that's all about before I put that, splat. This is why we can't have nice things. But anyway, so I was going to show you that big old glob before it just like fell off the spoon, landed on my hand, bounced onto my shirt. Surprised it didn't get in my beard, because that would be like pretty typical for me. But that is what the first bite is going to look like. Holy shit. Okay. That's actually really good. The pasta is really soft, which is what you would expect coming out of a retort pouch, but it doesn't have that greasy mouthfeel like a lot of other pastas that are cooked with meat in a retort pouch get. The spinach has actually got a really nice flavor. The chicken just kind of melts away almost to nothing. You can taste it, but it certainly isn't adding anything in the texture department. You get a little bite of that chicken kind of on its own. Now that I said that, that piece of chicken was like super chewy. That was like the toughest piece of chicken ever. It was like chicken bubble gum. So that's weird. It's like you have this strange, like almost like luncheon meat chipped chicken in here, as well as like these little pieces. I'm going to try that again, see if that's like chicken jerky. Oh, that is crazy. It doesn't taste bad at all, but you definitely have like this almost processed luncheon meat style chicken. Then you have these little chicken bites. These little chicken bites are almost like literally like they just added chicken jerky to this thing, and the chicken jerky sucked up as much juice as it was going to suck up out of this dish. That said, this is actually really good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this. I'm still pissed there's no coffee, but at least this main is actually pretty bitchin'. I really was kind of like thinking I was going to punish myself, you know, like no coffee, well, eat the spinach pasta. This is actually pretty bitchin'. This is really surprising. It actually has a really nice flavor. It's very basic. It could certainly use some salt and pepper. There's none of that in the ration at all whatsoever. But this has a really nice flavor to it. Actually way better than I expected it to be. It's got a nice fat content. You can see that oil in the bottom of the tray there. That's certainly going to help fill you up and keep you from being hungry. Let's get like a little chicken jerky party bite going on here. That texture is certainly a little tough, but at least it does add some texture to this. It's kind of a bummer they didn't have salty biscuits, like 1 pack of salty and 1 pack of chocolate, because this would be a pretty good main to scoop up on some salty biscuits. I'm still really shocked about how good this main is. Singapore is definitely kicking ass and taking names with some pasta. Let's try washing that down with some sweat. They really need to find a better name for this stuff. Let's get a taste of this. That is a really odd flavor. The absolute best and only way I can really describe the flavor of this is almost like lemon and flowers at the same time. It's only mildly sweet, so it's not like a lemonade in the sense that it's really lemony and sweet. You get a little bit of the saltiness at the end, but it's a really unique flavor. It's really strange. The way this comes on is like you get a sweet lemon flavor at the front, which fades into like a flower taste, like flowers. And then at the end, you get this little hint of salt. It's very crazy. I pick on it for its name, but that's actually really good. It's actually really good and very refreshing. That taste is really unique. Pretty awesome. Let's check out this hot honey hibiscus tea. That's very interesting. Very strong honey flavor. Doesn't really taste like much except for like a floral honey. It's really good. It's different. It's not coffee, so I'm pissed about it. But as far as tea goes, it's very interesting. Nice strong honey flavor. Definitely has a floral taste to it. And let's give this a little swizz and we will check out the breakfast cereal drink. Let's take a look at all that wholesome goodness swirling around in there. Oh, I mean, it would have just been better if that was a milk powder, because that literally tastes like a hot, wet bowl of breakfast cereal. Like when you get a box of breakfast cereal and you've eaten it down to the very dregs of the box, like there's just a little bit hanging out in the bottom. When you pour that bowl of cereal and you go those itty bitty pieces of cereal and cereal dust and all that shit in the bottom of the cereal box in a bowl and then pour milk in it, that's exactly what that tastes like. And it's hot and it's soggy. I really don't get the point of that. It tastes like soggy breakfast cereal. Maybe that's a thing in Singapore. Totally not here. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that sit because I'm really not in the mood for soggy breakfast cereal. There's not a whole lot of cereal in there, and it's just kind of floating around like just weird floaties. It's just not great. I mean, I'll get another sip just for the record, because I guess 3 is a charm or whatever. Oh, yeah, that is not good. We will dunk an Oreo in there just to get the milk out of it or something. Let's check out one of these chocolate biscuits. It's a shame you didn't get salty and chocolate, but I hope these things taste as good as they smell. Those are great. Nice mild chocolate flavor, only just a little bit sweet. These are also a little bit stale. These are still pretty epic. If you had something to go with these, like some kind of nut butter, maybe jam or honey, just anything, sweet and condensed milk would make this like an epic biscuit right here. But these are actually pretty good. Not very thirst-provoking. Nice chocolate flavor. Nice crunch. These are excellent. I'm going to tuck back into this main. I don't know what other menu variations my buddy on eBay has, but if he has the creamy pasta with spinach and chicken, that shit's a win. This is definitely a hell of a breakfast. And that's pretty epic. I went into this main with my nose turned up in the air, probably because of spinach barfacini. In USMREs, that was always really hateful and disgusting. So I kind of thought this was going to be along the same lines, but absolutely not. Singapore can really do a pasta dish correctly, which is pretty amazing. The US should really reach out to Singapore and find out exactly how they're packaging this main and what they're adding to it. So maybe we can have some half-decent food like this in a USMRE. Let's check out this big-ass apricot and honey fig bar. Now, they don't call it a fig bar. I'm calling it a fig bar because that's exactly what it looks like. Check out the cross-section on that guy. That is a good-looking fig bar as far as I'm concerned. Let's get a bite of this little bastard. That's a little on the dry side. The coating on this is very grainy, but in a good way. Whereas like a Fig Newton here in the US would just be that soft, floury coating, which I like, don't get me wrong. This is nice because it's a whole grain coating, but that interior is kind of dry. The whole thing is a little bit of a dry affair when you're chewing it. Kind of sucks the moisture out of your mouth, and oddly enough, for it being called honey and apricot, it has a weird sour taste as you're starting to chew on it and really get things moving around in the old face hole. It just starts to take on this weird, bitter, sour taste for just a moment or two, and then it reverts back to sweet. I don't think this is bad. It seems like it's perfectly fine. Maybe that's just a natural part of the taste profile of this thing. It's still really good. That sour taste right in the middle just kind of messes with you. Let's check out one of these Oreos. Well, I guess I should just eat one first before I dunk it in the wet cereal. Just down the hatch with an Oreo. This Oreo has a slightly different taste than what I'm accustomed to here in the US, but I'm not going to pin that on like a difference of manufacturer. Quite honestly, it's probably just because it was individually packaged. It's been shipped all over the place. Got hot, got cold, got hot again. It's still an Oreo. It's pretty awesome. It's chocolatey. It's Oreo-y. It has that creamy filling thing. You know how that song goes. But you know what we need to do? We need to try to dunk it in this hot, yucky cereal to see if we can bring some life and use out of this cereal. And I'm not much of a dunker, but I don't like to waste the rations I spend my hard-earned money on. So we're dunking. Like, we're going to dunk this chocolate biscuit in there. We get a big old wet chocolate biscuit and give that a try. I actually think it's probably going to be pretty decent. And if this is all of the coffee I'm going to get out of this ration, you know I got to get into one of these coffee candies this morning. Even though I can guarantee you I am going to have a cup of coffee right after this breakfast review, and then we'll bring it back with some dinner. This is a cream coffee candy. Let's check this out. Looks like a traditional coffee candy. Why couldn't this just be some powdered coffee for me to have a goddamn cup of coffee? I really just can't tell you. And that candy's not bad. Decent coffee flavor, relatively sweet, not very creamy, just basically tastes like coffee and sugar. Not a great coffee at that. It's okay. It'd be fine if this was the candy like snack they give you, but they also gave you some nice hot coffee to have in the morning. They did not do that. On that note, I'm going to finish up that apricot and honey bar. I'm definitely going to munch on these chocolate biscuits because they're goddamn yummy. That Oreo, well, it's an Oreo. It's going to disappear. I'll probably sip on that tea. I'll finish up that Bacardi Sweat because you know we hydrate up in this bitch, and that's going in the trash can because I'm just not into wet, yucky cereal. And I'll be back with dinner in 5 or 6 hours or something like that, and we'll just have one big dinner together. Isn't that cute? Aw, see you guys at dinner time. All right, well, welcome back to dinner, everyone. It's been about 6 hours. We've worked up a little bit of hunger, so let's check out what's for dinner. We're going to have another one of those apricot and honey fig bars. We're having this oats and honey soy granola bar. Some more Oreos, because why the hell not? Those chocolate biscuits. We're going to try to have some of this crunchy Bacardi Sweat, and we're also going to have this guava juice. And I've got both mains heated up, so let's get those out onto the tray. So we have that aloo jira chicken rice, which is just about as hot as it's going to be, boiling it for about 12 minutes or so. Oh, let's see what this is all about. Ooh, that smells excellent. Absolutely excellent. Let's see what, oh, looks like a big old brick coming out of there. Big old slimy pile of aloo jira chicken rice. It looks kind of nasty. It smells marvelous. It smells like cumin and chicken and just yummy. It smells really yummy, really savory. Ow. It actually kind of smells a lot like Indian food, if I'm being honest, like that cumin, curry. Oh, ow, hotness. I want to get all this out of here because it smells pretty amazing. And nobody needs no fingerprints. Oh, God, life of crime. I am right there with the loss of fingerprints. And that is kind of ugly, to be fair. That is not a great looking main. I hope it's really good. It smells amazing. Seems like it has more of that like chicken jerky style chicken in there. It's really hard, even hard like when you poke it with the spoon. It's definitely like chicken jerky. The rice is pretty mushy. Looks like it's going to be more of just kind of like a rice paste, but it really does smell amazing. It really is a bummer they didn't give you any salty biscuits with this thing. Like, they could have broke these up, 1 pack of salty and 1 pack of chocolate or sweet. That's a real bummer that they didn't. This would look great on a biscuit. It smells amazing. Get those chocolate biscuits out. I'm kind of doing this in reverse order. Like, I don't have any coffee to make, so drinks just somehow like became like second-class citizens over here. And that apricot honey bar. Oats and honey soy granola bar. Everybody needs a little bit more soy up in their life. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Not a bad looking granola bar. I was expecting that to be chewy. My expectations were dashed against the wall. Those are 2 crispy little oat and honey granola bars. Let's see what condition these little Oreo cookie pack is in. Oh, a little crumbly. Well, not too bad. You know, for a soft pack that didn't have anything in there to protect the cookies, it actually did really well. So I'm going to save that dessert for a minute until we get through some of this main because there's not enough room on the tray. I may have to wind up dumping it in some glasses or something because it's pretty sizable. Fortunately, I just went straight ghetto and brought the whole pot down here with me so everything would stay warm while I was fussing around yapping off at the Joels. So I'm just surmising that the dessert was meant to be heated up. I could have completely screwed the pooch on that, and it's supposed to be served cold. We'll certainly find out. I have no clue what it is, So we'll just have to find out together, and we'll see if it's good hot. You never know. I'm going to put this guava drink into a glass so you guys can actually see it. Get a little pokey poke of that there. I don't know exactly. I mean, other than just cutting it open. Oh, well, making a mess, making a mess. Yep, that's the awesome part about those juice boxes. There's only a little bit of juice rattling around in there. A little bit of squeeze action in that straw. And we got it right out of there. Just like when you were a kid. And that Picari sweat. I mean, it doesn't smell funny, but why would it? It's like salt and sugar and flavoring. Let's just hope that that is still... Well, let's just hope it doesn't make me ill. Certainly got hot at some point, and that is very likely why it caked up like that. But let's hydrate together. And let's stir that up. All right, let's try this guava juice just to clear the old palate before we start stuffing that mane down the face hole. It's very strange, but in a good way. It just has a kind of like regular guava, has a very generic fruit flavor. It's sweet. It almost tastes like pear juice, if I'm being honest. It's not bad at all. It's actually really yummy. To be fair, I could just down this in just one big giant gulp. It's pretty good. Very sweet. It's a fruity drink. I like fruity drinks. You like fruity drinks? We like fruity drinks. Let's get a big old bite of this mane and see what Aloo Jira chicken rice is all about. It's definitely very, very gelatinous. That rice, well, they didn't do the rice any justice putting it in this retort pouch, and that's a real shame. Let's get a bite and see what it tastes like. And that rice is really mushy. It's almost like a porridge at this point. It has a really nice flavor of cumin. It's very savory. I will say, I think these mains have a pretty serious MSG content. I got a roaring headache after breakfast this morning, so I'm going to have to maybe bounce in with a little after action report to let you guys know if I get a big fat headache after eating this. And that'll tell you, this is chock full of MSG. I wouldn't be surprised. There's probably MSG in some quantity in most rations. This just seemed to have a strangely high MSG content. If you don't know about MSG, when you eat a lot of MSG, it can totally give you a rip-roaring headache. Maybe it was just natural. I'm not really sure. But like I said, I'll pop back in with a little side note to let you know whether or not I got a roaring headache. Well, this is pretty decent. It's almost like a rice porridge with chicken. There's not much else going on in here. It's just chicken and rice, and there's some seasoning floating around in here. I'm not really sure exactly what that is, or if that's just kind of broken up pieces of chicken. Just a very savory, curry-flavored rice and chicken. Chicken has that same chicken jerky texture like the chicken from our spinach and noodle dish earlier. This is actually pretty decent. If the rice had more texture, this would be absolutely epic. As it is right now, this is almost like a savory chicken porridge. I really think this would have been a much better main for breakfast, that the creamy spinach, noodles, and chicken thing would have been way better for dinner. Lessons learned. Don't know when I'll get another Singapore ration, so if I get this same menu in the future, I'll definitely be having this for breakfast, but this is still, it's pretty goddamn yummy. I'm really hoping I was just a regular headache, and it wasn't an MSG headache, but we're going to find out, because we're eating this main, because it's dinner time, I'm hungry, I paid for it, and it's pretty goddamn good. What is that? Is that like a chicken fiber or a hair? I'm not really sure. That's kind of disturbing. It's going to be extremely hard for me to show you this on camera, but I'm going to try like hell. I don't know if you can see that at all, but that is either some kind of strange fibrous thing, or it's just a random hair chilling in my food. That's kind of disturbing. We're going to power through. What's a little Singapore hair? Huh. Maybe that's what the whole Aloo thing is. Maybe Aloo is Singapore for hair. Hair chicken rice. That's actually really disgusting. Ugh. I would definitely recommend eating this nice and hot. Eating this cold, that would just be really like rice jello if you ate it cold. This is definitely something to eat hot and not eat cold. And if you are lucky enough to get it hot, just keep on eating it while it's hot. Everybody really just needs to go to South Korea, find out how they put their sticky rice in a pouch. South Korean sticky rice is literally the gold standard as far as retort pouch rice goes. Everybody needs to go to South Korea, find out what kind of voodoo they use to put rice in a retort pouch, and just keep on rocking with that. If this main was paired with that South Korean style sticky rice, wow, this would be off the hook. And this main has a good bit of spice to it. And the more of it you eat, you just get this heat that builds up in your mouth, especially in the back of your throat. So you got to be careful with this. If you don't like spicy food, just be aware that the more of this you eat, the more the heat builds up. I happen to like it quite a lot. Definitely a very interesting flavor. Really nice spice level to this dish. I like it a lot, but if you don't handle spicy food well, just be aware the more of this you eat, the hotter it gets. It's just that mushy rice texture. After a while, just kind of done with it. That's okay though. It's still really good. It still tastes good. Just texture wise, this would be much better, like crunching it away with like a big old salty biscuit. Mushy rice. Couldn't have been too bad though, because here's the last bite going in my big face hole. Spicy, savory, kind of mushy. Chicken's a little tough, but the flavor in that is really excellent. If they were somehow fix that rice, fix your rice. If they were to somehow fix that rice, that would be absolutely off the hook. Definitely going to wait and see if we get a headache, though. That could change my whole opinion. We have a mess here, and I kind of need this area for that dessert item. So we're going to check out the butt wipe and get this butt wipe in action. See what that's all about. What do you get when you're a soldier in Singapore to wipe your ass? Looks like we have a bunch of relatively decent tissues. These aren't super thick, not very strong. Definitely going to have to put 3 or 4 of these together or you're going to get some serious poke through action, and nobody likes the poke through action. But these are, well, half decent tissues. You probably use about half a pack for one wipe. That's a shame. You could definitely get a booger with that, and you could do some stuff with it, but, you know, maybe in Singapore their butts are just a lot smaller. I don't know what to tell you. But let's see if we can't scrape some of this gelatinous rice goodness out of the bottom there. Well, it's not doing too bad of a job. All right, let me clean up some of this mess, and I'll be right back. All right, well, that's about as good as those tissues are going to get, and that shouldn't interfere with the flavor of our dessert too much. So let's get this barley nata de coco dessert out onto the tray. I don't know if this is a drink. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a pudding. I have absolutely no clue about this. We'll start dumping it out onto the tray. I've got a glass here on standby in case we need it. That really looks like soup. I'll tell you what, we're just going to put this right in a glass because this is really watery. What in the hell is that? Okay, so that's like a dessert soup. That is, that is definitely interesting. I mean, that just kind of looks like dishwater after breakfast. I don't know. Ooh, that's just a little rough looking. Let's try to get all of it out though. Maybe it's amazing and I'm just picking on it because it looks nasty. There are a lot of nasty things that we like to put in our mouths. You and us and all the Ration Nerd Nation, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Let's see what the hell this stuff is. So we have some... we have definitely some barley in here. And there is a cube of something. Not 100% sure what that is. Let's bring it up to you. You guys can check it out. What's that look like? That just looks like some, I don't know, opaque white jello. That's kind of weird. And then we have some barley floating around in this broth here. It does appear that heating it up was the right thing to do. And then, oh, that's really hot. Just doing my best to give you guys a little look at that as I burn my palm off. All right, so without any further ado, we're going to try this barley nata de coco. De coco would lead me to believe that there were chocolate in here, but maybe cocoa is coconut. I'm not really sure. Anybody out there fluent in Singaporean language can let me know if I'm just hamming it up and this is coconut instead of cocoa. Not real sure, but let's toss this weird stuff back in the old face hole and find out what we got going on. And that's definitely odd. It's not bad at all. It's only mildly sweet. Whatever this white gelatinous cube is kind of crunchy. So it's like some kind of fruit, but it stayed crunchy in this whole mix, even through the heating process. The barley is, as you could imagine, very soft, and it has a mildly sweet flavor. This is definitely odd. It's odd for me. Culturally, though, this is probably really normal for somebody. This really isn't that bad. If I'm being honest, it's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, I could certainly eat it, and I'm going to because it's different. Certainly wouldn't be the first thing I would go after as far as a dessert goes. This is definitely interesting. It's almost like you should just drink it and chew on the fruit. It's different. Definitely very, very different. A little bit of a vitamin C kick to it, which is, well, still, again, in the weird zone for me, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, to be honest. I'd almost prefer there to be twice as much barley and it just to be like a hot, sweet barley dessert soup rather than have those big cubes of crunchy, unknown fruit in there. It's strange. With the other items that I have on the tray, Oreos, chocolate biscuits, that's not all that great, but even that, and I haven't tasted this yet, but I imagine this is going to be pretty sweet. I can't imagine somebody getting this and being like, oh yes, I got the barley de coco nata whatever. I'm just feeling like I just don't feel like this is not the reward at the end of the day that I was like holding out for. It's totally not that. It's kind of watery. Like the creaminess of this is just from the starch in the barley. If you're not a frequent flyer with barley, something like this is going to turn your rear end into a tuba. You're going to be farting like a mad dog. Well, that stuff is certainly interesting. Let's check out one of these oats and honey granola bars. Have you guys a little cross section of that crunchy little fucker? Ooh, I need to wash that down with something. Hang on. Oh, that probably wasn't the drink to do it. Oh, damn it. Oh, okay. That is stale as all get the hell out. That is absolutely super stale. I don't know if that would have tasted good or when it was fresh. It seems like it would have. Nice and crunchy and sweet, kind of like a traditional crunchy granola bar, but it is so stale right now. Let me let's get one more bite. And why not? Because, you know, we just got that filthy taste out of our mouth. Let's go back for another bite. We'll try to describe this filthy stale flavor. So the culinary experience of this soy, oat, and honey granola bar is kind of like a wet, toasted cardboard box. So yeah, like if you were to take a cardboard box and then get it wet and then put it in the oven and just ever so slightly toast it, and then cover that wet, toasted cardboard box in sugar and honey, and maybe take some stale, really, really fucking stale oats, and then coat the outside of your crispy, toasted cardboard. That is exactly what that tastes like. Wet, toasted cardboard, honey, really stale oats. That is amazingly disgusting. I know it's out of date, but damn. Usually stuff like granola bars last a lot longer. The packaging on that pretty much sucks. It let that thing go completely stale, borderline rancid. Wow. I mean, wow. Oh, okay. Whew. Maybe just some barley mush will get that out of my face. Yep, absolutely. That washed out that stale cardboard taste just like that. It's pretty amazing, if for nothing else, to get your stale-ass granola bar down your face. And let's see if this honey and apricot fig bar has that same sour aftertaste as the one I had for breakfast. And it absolutely does have that sour aftertaste. This is in date, so it must just be the way it's supposed to taste. Comes off nice and sweet with a pleasant apricot flavor and that nice whole grain coating that's on the outside. And then right towards the end, it just takes a sour note, and it doesn't really taste like it's bad. It just tastes sour, which is really weird. Completely strange. Certainly in date. Nothing was wrong with the packaging. Everything else that was packed with it, like the chocolate biscuits, are hanging just fine. Speaking of chocolate biscuits, hell yeah, chocolate biscuits. These are pretty awesome. Not thirst-provoking, stayed nice and crunchy. These things are good. If they would have put a tube of sweetened condensed milk in here with these biscuits, it would have been such a win. Oh my god. You know what? That's a lot of chocolate biscuits. Let's see if we can't rescue this barley nata de coco breakfast soup drink thing with the funky fruit cubes in it. Let's give them a minute to do their thing, whatever that thing is. And we're going to smash an Oreo in the meantime. There's nothing wrong with a good Oreo cookie. I know exactly what Oreos taste like. I'd like, really, to try to rescue this dessert. So we're going to give it hell. We're going to give it everything we got. We're going to give it chocolate biscuits. And we're going to sacrifice the Oreos to the dessert gods. And we're just going to soak them all in this barley stuff. This barley shit that they're calling dessert. Look, no hate or anything like that. Everybody has different things culturally. For me, this is totally not a dessert. This definitely was another one of those semi-sweet, like odd breakfast items, but they called it dessert. Unless you're supposed to have dessert first thing in the morning in Singapore, we're just going to make a big old muddy mess out of this thing. Look at it. Now it looks like cocoa's in there. Hell yeah. We're going to chuck another biscuit in there. Like Chuck Biscuits. Wasn't that like the drummer from Danzig or something? Chuck Biscuits. I'm going to make that mess. I don't trust the dessert from Singapore, but that's okay. We're just going to make it into some dessert pudding. Maybe that's the whole point of the biscuits and the cookies. You were supposed to add them to this like barley mess to make something actually that tastes good. But I've made nastier looking shit on this channel, so this just kind of looks like, just looks like a chocolatey mess now, which is, well, kind of okay by me, to be fair. All right, now that we've thoroughly made a mess out of this, let's get a big old bite of this chocolate barley Oreo fruit whose name I do not know mess, because this is totally a mess. I would hold this up to the camera. Oh, whatever. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. It's going to drip on me. It's going to be pretty hateful. Look at that yummy stuff right there. Absolutely no hope for me. It's in my goddamn beard. And I did make a big mess out of this, but it definitely made it sweeter. It made it actually taste like chocolate. Kind of, well, sweeten the whole thing up. It's just a big, wet, chocolatey biscuit and cookie mess. Actually not hateful. Definitely weird texture-wise, but it's just like hot, wet, chocolatey things going in your face hole. Not too shabby. Well, that was hot, wet, sweet, chocolatey after I added all that crap to it. And kind of weird. So I'm not really going to call that a win. That was just a rescue situation for a dessert that was kind of strange for me. Definitely not on my cultural vocabulary of food. However, that was it, guys. That's dinner. I'm definitely going to eat those chocolate biscuits. As funny as that tastes, I'm not going to eat any more of it. I'm going to finish up that guava juice because it's actually pretty banging. I'm going to sip on that Pocari Sweat for the rest of the evening because that is actually a pretty decent electrolyte beverage. I'm digging it. We'll eat some of these coffee cream candies as time goes on. It's always a good thing to have some coffee candies from a foreign land laying around. But I'm still pissed I didn't get regular coffee in this ration. Well, friends, thank you for joining me here on Ration Nerd to check out this Singapore 24-hour combat ration and a little extra accessory pack because we can. This was a lot of fun. Definitely some differences in the rations I'm accustomed to having. That same old story with the mushy rice. Well, that's just kind of shit happens. It's a shame they can't get rice right. It was certainly a lot of fun to check out these new dishes. That aloo jira chicken rice, aside from the rice being smushy, was actually pretty banging. That spinach pasta and cream sauce was actually really epic. No hate for the spinach pasta and cream sauce. That barley nata de coco thing dessert, that's not really my speed. That's not my style. Maybe that's a real treat in Singapore, and if it is, hey, more power to you guys. That was just kind of, well, not all that in a bag of chips for me. That stale-ass granola bar, that was pretty rough. The no coffee, though, God, that's hardcore. You give a guy coffee candy, it's like fucking teasing him. And you give him that tea. The tea was pretty decent, but no coffee, no coffee, no coffee, no fucking coffee. Are you guys fucking kidding me? And this was certainly a lot of fun, and it was made even better by the fact that you guys decided to spend this time with me on this crazy channel. So I really appreciate you people, and if you appreciate me right back, you know what you can do. The finger points. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, talk to me in the chat. I'm gonna have fun putting shit all over my fingers. Anyway, and you guys know how it goes. At least I'm pretty sure I've explained it like 50 other times now. If you can find something cooler than this 24-hour Singapore ration to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. Eat 'em up.